Hi, I'm here with Olivia Minton, who's a freshman here at Lakeland College. So Olivia, I heard that the women's softball team recently went out to New York. Is that right?
Yes, we did, and we had a great time.
So what were you guys doing out there?
Well, we went out to New York to play softball, of course, but actually while we were there, we got to go on a visit, go to the Hawaii Army football game, and we just learned a lot of rich, deep history about the Army.
So it's not every day that we have Lakeland College going out to New York on the East Coast. What's the backstory behind the traveling out there?
Well, the assistant coach here at Lakeland last year, Stacy Burke, is now the assistant out there, and so she got in contact with Coach and set things up.
Well, you know, it's so great to hear that Lakeland is really kind of in a way touring the United States for our softball team. So I wish you guys the best luck this season. And here you have it, Maliha Mustafa reporting for Lakers Live.
Colin Hawes, just seen you last night in Lakers Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
Women's volleyball game going on.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of baseball players there. What you guys often support the other sports?
Yeah, most of the team usually tries to come out and support all the other teams, so
Okay.
they do the same for us, so we try to support them.
Okay, now you're in your second year with the program, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so sophomore here. What's your course of study here?
I'm majoring in business administration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you are a catcher.
Yeah, I'm a catcher.
Last year, shared duties with France, was it?
Actually, Ben Sherrick, me and him ended up splitting time. I started in the outfield for the first half of the year, then I moved to catcher and ended up playing there. So.
Is that your what you would call your natural position?
Yeah, I played there ever since junior high. So.
Okay, so that's when you started?
School.
Way back then?
Yeah, yeah.
And where was that at?
I played at Moreau Forsyth. Lived in Decatur, but I played there all through since second grade. So.
That's your hometown?
Yeah, Decatur.
Okay. Well, what kind of things do you think are going to be different for you? I'm assuming you're going to be catching again this year.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you think is going to be different for you this season?
Since I'm a sophomore, I mean, definitely leadership. We kind of expect that out of all the sophomores, and hopefully I can handle the pitching staff a little bit better, relate to those guys, and just hopefully lead the team to a lot better year than last year.
Okay, but last year, even though it might not be the greatest of seasons, but it was an improvement on the season before.
Yeah.
So I know Coach Simmons worked hard to make that happen, and now he's put together quite a squad, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. We got to start somewhere, so we have the talent to do some pretty good things this year.
Okay. Now, being a catcher, do you have a specific coach that just works with you?
We have Coach Glosser and Coach Scott. They both surprisingly know a lot about the position, so they've been helping me and the other catchers out. So
you say surprisingly, so I'm going to pick on you now.
Why
is it surprising? Because they're not catchers themselves,
they're not
perhaps?
catchers, but they know a lot about the game, so
yeah,
they're helping out quite a bit. So.
Okay, and I would imagine that Coach Glosser would have a lot to do with you anyway, since he's working with the pitching staff.
Yeah, he's the pitching coach, so he gives us the perspective from the pitcher's standpoint, so he can kind of tell us what we need to do in that sort of way. So.
Well, who's calling the game? Are you calling the pitches? Is it coming off the bench?
It kind of depends on the pitcher. Some pitchers, like Shane, he wants our coach to call him, and then he'll just relay the signs into me. And if some pitchers, we're kind of on the same page, and I can just call the game. So it all depends.
Who has final say?
Jason usually has the final say, and then if he's calling pitches, the pitchers, they have to throw that pitch. So I'll let them know if I'm calling the game, then they can shake off if they want to.
Okay, I was going to ask you then, just for fun, what happens if you give every pitch that pitcher can throw and he shakes them all off?
I usually have to call time and go out and talk to him and try to get on the same page.
Who's from last year's staff that's coming back? Who was it was easiest to go out on the mound and talk to when you needed to?
I mean, really all the guys from last year were I mean, they're easy to handle. Shane, I usually never really had to go out there. We were all on the same page, me and him and Coach Glosser and Eric Von Qualen and Tony Zaruzin. They're all pretty easy to work with, and Evan West. So I'm used to all those guys from last year. So.
Mm-hmm. And for those who aren't really up with what goes on the mound, what kind of things do you talk about out there?
It depends the situation. If it's if they just gave up a home run, you don't want to go out there and complain or anything. You just say something to kind of lighten the mood, and just keep it light, and just explain the situation to them, and just try to stay on the same page for calling pitches and everything.
And when you're calling the game, of course you haven't had but one game this season so far, but I guess would you expect to remember some of the hitters returning on other teams? Will you remember them and how you might want to pitch them?
Yeah, we usually do, and Coach Glosser, we keep a chart on pitching chart for every game. So usually the second time we play a team, we're gonna know what the hitters did in what situations, so we know how to pitch them and go at them. So that definitely helps. So you go over that like that morning before a game? Yeah, we'll go right before the game, or on the bus on the way to the game, and I remember guys that we face, so I can remember some of that stuff too. Well, do you remember anyone in particular that if you were to see him come up this year, you're going to say, oh no, not this guy? Yeah, there were plenty of those guys last year. We had really the whole Wabash Valley team. They was a strong squad, wasn't it? They were a very good squad. Had numerous guys drafted out of there, and you had Kaskaskia, and there's plenty of guys that were pretty tough to face. A lot of them were sophomores last year, so that'll be kind of nice. You got some new guys to start over with. You don't have to face all those guys again. So at least not all of them. Yeah, not all of them. But well, who from last season that you're going to play again that you're aware of? I know there's probably certain rivalries with certain teams, but who do you want to beat the most based on last year? Probably since they beat us the worst last year, probably want to beat Wabash Valley this year. We always like playing Wren Lake too, but I'd say from my standpoint, I want to beat Wabash Valley this year because they didn't make us look very good last year. So. And just jump on the offensive side of things, and do you suspect that you'll improve your hitting last year? Not that it was bad last year or anything, but what kinds of things are you working on now? There's always room for improvement. I took the summer off this year, or last summer, I got to work on a lot of things, and then Coach Scott and Coach Simmons have been helping me out a lot. There's sometimes you got to go backwards before you can go forwards, but just kind of break down your entire swing. Yeah, you gotta kind of get down to it, and we got a long time till spring, so good thing it's early. What's the biggest adjustment you think you've made in your swing? Stance or position of hands? My stance it's always kind of been about the same. Usually my problem, I'll hit off on my front foot, which is lunging at the ball, and I just got to figure out some balance things. So. And how do you like the new guys on the team? They're all great. I mean, we have a great team chemistry this year, and we have a lot of different guys, but we've seemed to kind of mesh really well together. So I think it should be a pretty good year.